let's talk about my most recent purchase of books that I did in Maine that coincidentally are all set in Maine. Now, I say coincidentally, but honestly, I did pick and purposely choose books that were set in Maine because why not, right? You're in Maine, might as well get books in Maine. But more specifically, whenever I go and travel, I do like to support locally, or I like to just bring something back that reminds me of the place. And what better way than to, if I am gonna go shop for books, porque siempre, I gotta go stop at a bookstore wherever I go. If I am gonna shop for books, might as well have it something resonate with where I went to. And Maine was such a nice place to go to. Definitely much needed little reset weekend, and that was amazing. And I was so glad to be able to find these books. So I wanted to share with you guys because the summary, the plot, I'm like, this is a 10 out of 10. I have not read these books yet, but I will be reading them. But I wanted to share that what they all have in common. If you just so happen to be going to Maine and you want to bring a book with you that is Maine theme or set in Maine, maybe this might be a book for you. So let's get into it. So the first book I got was The Berry Pickers, which is by Amanda Peters. This book is about a young girl who goes missing, and the last person who sees her is her 6-year-old brother. Then it basically, on the back of the summary, it kind of like goes into the future, and it says that there's this young woman who has grown up in Maine, but she kind of feels like she never belonged in her family, and she knows that her parents have been keeping secrets. And long story short, we gotta find out if this girl, this young woman, is actually the girl that went missing, and why did she even go missing in the first place. But this is all set in Maine, so we gotta see what mystery is brewing up in Maine. This kind of also reminds me of a show. Oh my gosh, I probably put the name somewhere, that I had started watching on Hulu, and then I stopped watching it. But it was really good. So it kind of gives me that vibe. So I wonder if this has like some inspiration on that, but we'll see. Or if the show has inspiration on this, whichever came first. But yeah, that is The Berry Pickers. Next book is called Heartwood by Amity Gage. And this book is about a 42-year-old woman who is hiking in Maine, and she just so happens to end, she goes missing from her original destination. So she's like 200 miles away from where she was supposed to go to. She's like literally lost in the woods. And so this book kind of just deals with, based on the summary, once again, I haven't read it, deals with her just trying to like it deals with loss and grief and her just trying to go through those emotions, while at the same time there is a 72-year-old woman, 76-year-old woman, who's a bird watcher in a Connecticut retirement community, and she becomes the detective who tries to figure out what happened to this woman. And what this is basically saying is that both women, somehow some way, their lives kind of intertwine, and they help each other out with what they're going through. So this is called Heartwood, and I can't wait to read this. This is going to be a great book. I know it is. Now, this book called Main Characters by Hannah Ornstein is about two sisters who usually they spend their summers, they're from New York City, they usually spend their summers in Maine in a cabin with their father. But recently he passed away, and now they're both gonna go still to Maine, but they're dealing with the grief, they're dealing with issues within themselves, and basically we are gonna follow the journey of two sisters who are dealing with losing their father and how they kind of get through that. So this book is called Main Characters. This next book is called Summer Roommates by Holly Chamberlain. And this book is about an older woman who has lost her husband 5 years ago, and she's been lonely. And so she decides that in the summer she's going to open up her house to have three roommates, and these three roommates happen to also be other women. And basically we follow the journey of these four women in a summer in Maine and see the things that they deal with, their own issues that they have, also struggling with grief, which I realize a lot of these books are dealing with a lot of grief and loss. So interesting that that was what caught my attention. But that is the story that we're going to be reading, kind of the storyline of what is in this book. So those are the four books that I got, and honestly I can't wait. I think these have some great storylines, and just alone with the summary on the back I was able like to see, okay, this is something that's interesting. So I'm really looking forward to see how these books go. If you guys have read any of these books, please let me know. Anyone that you recommend me to read first. I think I might start with Heartwood. I think Heartwood might be my first pick. Even though I'll be honest, I kind of want to like wait till like it's a little bit colder. But then at the same time, like, why wait? Just start now, you know? Especially because my TBR list is getting bigger. Or the berry pickers. I'm very excited to see this. Or, I mean, technically, if I really wanted to be a part of like the vibes, like whatever is going on now, I should read this because this is a summer in Maine, and then I should transition to this one because this is also a summer in Maine, and then kind of transition with the other two. So we'll see. Stay tuned, but let me know what your thoughts are on these four books.